Welcome all dear viewers to day 80 of this Ramayana 108. As we saw in yesterday's episode, who has revealed this story and its authenticity establishment is what we saw in the previous episode. Today it would be the continuation which would be seen from the previous verse. Let us see the verse. बद्धाञ्जलिपुटं दीनं याचन्तं शरणागतं न हन्यादानृशंस्यार्थम् अपि शत्रुं परन्तप. Now he is drawing conclusions from the story, whatever has been narrated by him right now. Now we saw he first established the authenticity, then he is drawing conclusions and he is going to convey the message which has to be conveyed through this story. Baddhanjali putam deenam yachantam sharanagatam, where we see that the person who has come, it could be any person. In the case of pigeon story, we do see that the person who has come is the specific enemy and also the common enemy for all these pigeons. In spite of that, that pigeon protected the hunter. We do see that the protection was not sought from the pigeon. In fact, it was sought from the Vanadevatas. In spite of not asking the pigeon directly, pigeon tried to help and protect that hunter. If that is the case there, in this case, Vibhishana has come here. He is not the enemy. In fact, he has just come from the enemy's side. He has sought protection from me, not from anyone else, but there it was from someone else. Drawing all these comparisons after that, right now, he is saying, Bhaddanjali putam deenam. If one comes and folds hands like this, and if one expresses his own helplessness and seeks protection, if one says it by word, in this case he has to be protected. That is what here Baddhanjali putam deenam yachantam sharanagatam means. As we saw in the previous episode, at what level his compassion is, these three things are also not necessary for him. That is what our commentators show even here. One is by action, other is by mind, other is by words. Let's assume by words someone is not true. That is, he is having something in mind and he is saying something by his words. That is, we can say him as a hypocrite. Even if that person is like that, even then he has to be protected, is what Rama says here. Baddhanjali putam deenam. These three things, one is folding the hands, which is by action, other is by words, if he even prays for protection, and by mind, if he has that, or even if he doesn't have it, even in that case he has to be protected. Na hanyat, as you were saying before, that this person is deserving to be killed, not to be welcomed. In that way, na hanyat, even if it is the enemy himself, even in that case he should not be killed. In fact, for kindness, to show kindness, anrashamsyartham, to show kindness, even the enemy himself has to be protected if he does all the three things. Is it so? No. As we have seen before, all these three things are also not necessary. If that person just comes to the place where we are, that is more than enough to protect him. That reason itself is more than enough, rather than expecting these three things from him, that is by mind, words and action. So in this way, even if he is an enemy, na hanyat anrashamsartham, just for being kind to him or showing kindness to him, even if he is an enemy, then he should be protected at any cost. Why? Here Sugriva has been addressed as Parantapa. You might be very valorous in waging war. By just hearing your name, the enemy might even shiver in fear. You might be such a person, but when that enemy comes here and seeks protection, you are the one who should protect him. That is what Rama says here, and Rama establishes it by this verse. Let us see other shloka, which is the continuation of this verse, in the upcoming episode. Thank you.